Today on Keeping It Real.
We sometimes may feel like we hit a wall. Sometimes we may feel like, there's something there that we just can't get past and it's almost like we become stagnant. Sometimes you just need somebody to be there to listen.
A lot of these women, and even men and the elderly that we were talking about, they do not trust people because of what they've been through. So you have a trust issue, and that's why when you're discovering or uncovering what they've been through, you have to take it slow with them so you can build a trust.
And he said, as you meet with these girls, he said, move slowly and gently as you discover the issues that they have.
Kristen Maddox overcame a 12-year addiction. Now she pulls others out knowing that some have escaped death for the last time. Shauna Butler understands the pain of sexual abuse. Now she uses her voice to unhush the little girls inside of women she counsels. This is Keeping It Real.
Good morning and welcome to Keeping It Real. I'm Kristen Maddox and this is my co-host Shauna Butler, and we are so excited about season 2. As you can see, we are on the new set of Keeping It Real, and I want to just take a second to give a shout out to all of the people that really played a part in getting this set ready. Pastor Philip, Pastor Josh, Luke, Aaron, all of those that sponsor the show. We just want to say thank you for your support and your continued support as we launch out into season 2. And this morning, we have a very special guest. She's a dear friend of ours, and she's also a big part of A Door of Hope Ministries, and that's Louise Cook. It's so good to have you on the show.
Well, thank you. I'm so excited to be on the show with you ladies today.
Well, we're excited to have you, and we have been actually doing some really amazing seminars. They're awareness seminars, and they are also trauma trainings, because we know that sometimes people go through things in life that they're not equipped to handle. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about some of the trauma trainings that A Door of Hope offers and talk about some of the subjects, because they are very in-depth. And they are very traumatic, and we want you to know that there is hope after trauma. And so I'd like to just start off, Louise, one of the seminars that you do is Rape Crisis.
Yes, I do.
And so we actually just had the opportunity to do our first trauma training. This was a couple of weeks ago.
Correct.
And we had about 10 or 15 people all together that were at the seminar. And it was really very informational, some of the things that you talked about. And if you will, just share with our viewers a little bit about Rape Crisis and what that is.
Okay. Well, what I've learned through my experience personally is, 1 out of 3 women are actually raped every minute in the United States. And to me, that is a very large number. And some people don't even know the definition of what rape is. And that's what we're trying to get our audience to connect it with the seminars, is to be equipped to know that. So rape is very dehumanizing. It's a brutal, violent act. And it's not only towards women, but it's also towards children, it's towards men, and even the elderly. And some people just are not even aware that elderly can go through this also.
Right. And that's so true. And just being a victim of such a violent act. I know one of the things that we do here at A Door of Hope is that we do offer free one-on-one counseling. So that if somebody has been through this sort of trauma, and Louise, because you counsel with these girls, a lot of them have been through this trauma, and yet they never talked about it. They never dealt with it. And so they've held on to that for a long time.
Right, and they really keep it inside them. And personally, when I've gone through the same thing, it's like you bury it deep inside of you, and you don't even know what's wrong with you or what's triggered you to be a certain way or not to be. And once you start digging into your trauma, you realize that this is what caused me to be the way I am. And now certain pieces of the puzzle of my whole life that I never figured out before is starting to fall in place.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just recognizing why.
Mm-hmm.
Why is your life this way?
Mm-hmm.
And when you start digging into the traumas, you understand.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then you can start dealing with it, and a process will start to take place in your life.
Right. I know that one of the scriptures, or actually the main scripture that we stand on for these trauma trainings, is Ephesians 4:16. It says, He makes the whole body fit together perfectly. As each part does its own special work, it helps the other parts grow so that the whole body is healthy and growing and full of love. And I think what happens so many times is that, even in our walk with the Lord, we sometimes may feel like we hit a wall. Sometimes we may feel like, there's something there that we just can't get past, and it's almost like we become stagnant. And so one of the things that we encourage, people to do is really to kind of take a look at, have you ever dealt with the traumas? Are you, because maybe that's why your walk is not healthy right now.
And Shauna would be excellent on talking about the layers of your life, peeling back one layer at a time, dealing with certain traumas.
Because you did the training about domestic violence, and will you share?
And I was listening to Miss Louise and just thinking about just the different things that people go through in these traumas. And the classes that we offer, the seminars, are for people that want to minister to people that have been through this, but it's not just for them.
Right.
It's also for people that have been through it or are going through it. And I know we noticed in our last seminar class that some of the ladies that were there that had came to be imported into to be able to go out and minister, they got healed themselves.
That's right.
And so the class is bigger than what we think it is, because we're allowing God to just do the work that He needs to do in these women and men that wants to attend the class, if they want to minister to people that are dealing with trauma. The seminar that I taught was on domestic violence, and it's a whole lot of layers when it comes to domestic violence. And rape is included in that.
Right. It's parallel.
It really is. And Miss Louise spoke on that about, you can be in a marriage and also.
Right. Actually, it's 1 to 7 women. That was one of the very big shockers for the women that were in our seminar, because they were going, my husband raped me?
Right.
Well, yes. When you're detached emotionally through domestic violence, and then he forces to have sex with you, that's rape.
Right.
It's a violent crime, and it could be your husband.
Exactly. Well, we're going to come back and finish talking about these trauma trainings. Let's take a little break, and then we'll be back and continue our talk.
Today, girls will die as a result of drug overdose, abuse that went too far, and even suicide. A Door of Hope provides free services to girls and women. If you or someone you know needs help, call us today.
I'm Pastor Philip Pimlott, and this is my wife Kelly, and we want to extend a special invitation for you to come and visit us at Heartsease Family Life Church. Heartsease is a safe place for you and your family, a place where life starts, love happens, and purpose is revealed.
Our church is located at 12112 Florida Boulevard, and our services are Sunday mornings at 9 and 11 and Wednesday evenings at 6:45.
For more information, check out our website, hflc.us. Welcome home.
Welcome back to Keeping It Real. We are talking about overcoming traumas in our life, and the definition of a trauma is a severe emotional or mental distress caused by an experience. And some of the trauma trainings that A Door of Hope offers, as we were talking about earlier in the show, is rape crisis, domestic violence, abortion-related trauma, childhood sexual abuse or sexual abuse in general, We're also going to be talking about addiction, enabling, and suicide prevention. And so if you're watching today, you may be a pastor, you may be a leader, you may just be somebody, male or female, doesn't matter. This class is open to everybody that has a heart to work with broken people, people that have been victims of trauma, and you may just want to learn more. And so we're taking all of the experiences that we've personally been through, along with years of experience of working with victims of trauma, and we're equipping people to know, what do I say to somebody? What do I say to somebody that comes to me and says, I just had an abortion. I'm struggling. I don't know how to deal with this. I feel so guilty. What do you say? And that's what these seminars are for. They're to help equip you to know how to walk alongside of somebody and help them, to be a good helper and to assist them.
And I think being that we've all been through some of these same issues that we teach on, teaching them really how to minister, because a lot of people don't really know how to minister to people when they're broken. And because we've been there, we can teach how to minister. I know in the class that I taught about just learning how to identify where that person is. If a woman comes to you and says, my heart is broken. What does that mean? Your heart is broken. You know, we have to get down to the meaning of that. We have to pull back those layers. What does that mean? Because if you told me your heart was broken, Kristen, then I'm going to give you my meaning of what your heart is broken means. It just means maybe she's just sad, but that might not mean it to you. Your heart broken may mean something even more traumatic than that. And so we can't assume that we know what this person means when they say their heart is broken. And sometimes they don't even know what they mean. And so in the seminar classes, we have a feeling sheet. And within that feeling sheet, there's different intensities of feelings. There's medium, there's low, medium, and high intensity. And so you can look at it and you can identify, the woman can identify, well, you know, my sadness, my brokenheartedness is just sad. It's just bewildered. Or it's very frustrated. I feel like dishonored. Or, you know, there's different levels of how you're feeling. So I always say we have to assess the situation and give proper application. I like to say it's like someone coming in to a hospital and they have a cough. And so I give you the same thing I gave the last 100 people. And you go home and you die because your symptoms were something greater than a cold. But I assessed the situation and I just applied something generic that I gave to everybody else. Every woman is different. Every situation is different. Every rape is different. Every domestic violence situation is different. Every abortion is different. Every suicide is different. There's something behind it. So we have to assess the situation and give proper application. See what this person needs to heal.
And I think about too, you know, if you think about the most painful time in your life, it's almost like, you know, not being able to allow somebody really, sometimes you just need somebody to be there to listen. And I remember something, Shauna, that you shared one time that the Lord gave you. Will you share about the MOG?
The MOG. You know, the Lord wakes me up early in the morning, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And one morning, just before day, I don't know if I was woke or dreaming, but I know the Lord came to me. And he showed me the word M-O-G, MOG. And I knew I had to remember that word. And then he showed me, it was like I was inside of somebody's brain. And he showed me rooms inside of that brain. And I was walking, and I remember just walking slowly and gently inside of these rooms. And I remember each door that I opened inside of the brain, I needed to open it slowly and gently. And I just knew I needed to open it slowly and gently. I didn't know why, but God was just showing me things. And I just walked slowly and gently. And when I woke up, I wrote the word MOG down, and I thought, I have to find out the definition of it. And so I'm thinking, God, did you mean MOG? I mean, or W-O-G, woman of God?
Yeah,
what do you,
right, right.
But it was MOG.
Yeah.
And I looked it up, and the definition came back. And I wish I had the definition with me. We may have to, maybe when we do go to commercial break, I'll come back with the definition. But it did talk about discovering something, discovering. When I saw the word discovering, God had me to put a dash in between that discovering. He said, when you minister to these women, move slowly and gently in discovering the things, the issues that they've been through.
A lot of these women, and even men and the elderly that we were talking about, they do not trust people because of what they've been through. So you have a trust issue, and that's why when you're discovering or uncovering what they've been through, you have to take it slow with them so you can build a trust with these people. And one of the things that you could tell them, I'm sorry that this has happened to you, but I understand. And just take it slowly with them and allow them to cry and be emotional and then deal with that and just keep discovering or uncovering those layers.
And I love what you said about saying that you understand. And that's what I love about these particular seminars that we are doing through A Door of Hope Ministry, is that we have been through these issues. We are not women that have gone to school, even though we've taken some training courses, we've taken some classes to get certified in certain things, but we have been there. We've been through the rapes. We've been through the domestic violence. We've been through the sexual abuse. We've dealt with suicide in our families. We have been there. So we know, when we say we know,
we understand.
We understand. We've walked it. We've walked it.
I believe that you have to walk experiences before you can even start talking about
That's
it.
right. That's right.
And these people have to know that they're not alone.
Exactly.
And one of the things that we lead them to is to the cross. And to let them know that our Lord and Savior says, I have never left you.
That's right.
That you are not alone. I am there. Right in the midst of everything that you experience. And so the training is taking them from, not knowing which way to go to leading them to the cross, which is Jesus is the center. And that right there is going to be a mouthpiece for them, because they're going to turn what they went through and their experience to a testimony.
That's right. That's right. I love that, Miss Louise. Well, let's take a commercial break, and then we'll come back, and I want to talk more about Jesus getting us to the place where we need to be. So when we return.
I'm Pastor Philip Pimlott, and this is my wife Callie, and we want to extend a special invitation for you to come and visit us at Heartsease Family Life Church. Heartsease is a safe place for you and your family, a place where life starts, love happens, and purpose is revealed.
Our church is located at 12112 Florida Boulevard, and our services are Sunday mornings at 9 and 11 and Wednesday evenings at 6:45.
For more information, check out our website, hflc.us. Welcome home.
Welcome back to Keeping It Real. And Shauna, you had a few minutes during break to be able to look up the definition of MOG.
And I'm just going to repeat what I said before. When God gave me the vision, He showed me a brain, and I was walking in the brain. And He said, as you walk and move gently and slowly as you discover whatever it is. And so when I woke up, I looked up the word MOG to see what it meant. And the word MOG means a not yet fully grown child who takes on the style and mannerism of a middle-aged woman, possibly by wearing a tightly shrunk perm or a dangly oversized bathrobe, and who assumes adult responsibilities such as preparing meals and distributing drinks. It describes a young girl in the absence of a mother who is wise beyond her years and has a perplexing relationship with the father figure.
The Lord was really speaking.
He was speaking. And He said, as you meet with these girls, He said, move slowly and gently as you discover the issues that they have.
You know, I think about one of the scriptures that I often use when I do the seminar, and it talks about how, like taking off a coat in the middle of winter or putting soda on vinegar, that is what it's like to sing to a heart that is heavy. And so we have to know how to minister,
Right.
how to uncover those areas slowly. We have to have wisdom. We need to have knowledge. We need to be equipped. And that's what these seminar trainings are really about. They are to equip you, to enable you to walk alongside of victims of trauma. And again, we are covering many areas. We are covering addiction, enabling. So you're getting not only from the standpoint of how do I help somebody that's addicted to drugs, but then who is an enabler? How do I enable? How do I not enable? How do I set boundaries?
Right.
Tough love. We're talking about domestic violence. We're talking about sexual abuse, rape crisis, suicide prevention, which is there's been a lot, and I know that that's personal to me because I lost my son to suicide. It hasn't even been a year, and so this is near and dear to my heart, and I want to be able to just impart and just to share what the Lord's done in our lives through that, what we've learned, and also abortion-related trauma is another area. They're difficult subjects to talk about. They're difficult, but the church has got to get ready.
And that's one of the things that I believe, that these seminars, the Lord spoke to us and said, it is time. It is in this season. So I don't think it's just something that, A Door of Hope or Keeping It Real is thought of. It is a God-given thing that he told us to do. And it's not just geared, for women and men, but I believe it's for your pastors of the church, it's for the leaders of the church, the youth pastors, anyone that is involved, that has a heart for people that has been traumatized in their life. And we're expecting revival. And if we're expecting it to come up and down this I-12 corridor, the pastors need to be ready. They need to be equipped. And that is why God has placed this upon our heart to do it in this season.
Right. And you think about, you could have many churches, and maybe a lot of women are not going to the pastors and saying, I'm getting beat every night, or I'm going through this or going through that. But you have to know that if it says 1 in every 4 women have been beaten or attacked or has dealt with domestic violence, well, pastors, really, when you're standing up there on the pulpit, you look out into your congregation and count 1, 2, 3, 4. This woman has been 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 in every 4. So don't think that it's not in your church because it's there. Maybe they're not just talking to you about it. So I'm just going to take out the trauma word, and I'm just going to say, not just people that want to work with people that's dealing with trauma, but people that have a love for people, period. Because you don't always know what they're going through. So if you're already equipped with what they need, then God's going to send them to you. You just have to be equipped. So I just compel you all to, go on our website. Have we put it up yet, our next trauma training? Because I know it's going to be in October 17th.
It will be in October the 17th, which is on a Saturday. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and the location and everything is on there. So please register if you're interested. And the next trauma training will actually be abortion-related trauma and sexual abuse.
Right. So that, just viewers, get on board, because this is going to be a dynamic season, empowering. It's just going to be awesome. And I know I'm one that is very excited about it.
I am
new
too.
things, new seasons.
Right. And even within our own households, if it's not within the church, we have family members that are always dealing with something. So you just want to be equipped to be able to minister to them. We want to be able to be used by God.
This is the reason why most people stay stuck. They can't go past where they've been for 30 years. They're sitting on the pew and they're going through the motions of going to church every week, but there's no growth. And it's because they've never dealt. I remember a lady in our in A Door of Hope, 84 years old. Oh my God, she came in and started dealing with some of these issues that she never dealt with. And my God, just the transformation. And I sat there and I'm going, 84 years old. And she's just now getting unstuck. And it was just so touching to my heart. So your age It doesn't matter. If you allow the process to start and you have the person to be equipped, the one that loves people unconditionally without judging, you can set them free.
Exactly.
And you know, in the Bible, when you think about the woman at the well, or the woman that was caught in adultery, or the woman with the issue of blood, Jesus was there to minister to these women. But now he has called us, the body of Christ, to rise up, to be equipped, and to be able to go out and reach the lost. And they are dealing with some serious issues. And so we just want to be able to come alongside of you and to equip you and impart just what God has done in our lives, and what the experience that he's allowed us to see, the testimonies of so many women, so many girls that have had the courage to use their voice and to allow the Lord to heal the wounds in their past. So we hope to see you there. If you have any questions, feel free to call our office, get registered as soon as possible, and we look forward to seeing you there. Hi, I'm Kristen Maddox.
And I'm Shauna Butler.
And I'm Louise Cook.
And Louise is the financial director at A Door of Hope Ministries. Every day at A Door of Hope, we have the opportunity to provide free services to girls and women that are struggling with various crises, various traumas in their life. And we cannot do this without the support of people in our community like you. You have the opportunity today to help us continue to provide these services at no charge to the girls. We cannot do it without you.
And like Kristen said, the services are free, but of course it does cost a Door of Hope in order for us to stay open. And so we do need your pledges. You know, every pledge is going to help some young lady to be able to heal, to be able to get over those life-controlling issues that they've been through. And that's our mission here at A Door of Hope Ministries.
And this is what we offer to you. You could pay through the Angel of Hope Fund. You could also do PayPal, credit card, or simply mail in your check. And also go on our website. That's another place you can give. And we thank you for your help.
I just want to ask you a question. How much is her life worth? Priceless, right? What if she was your mother, your sister, or even your daughter? You have the opportunity to help us make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to our sponsors. If you'd like to help sponsor the show Keeping It Real, please call 225-665-4673. That's 225-665-4673. Thank you to our sponsors. If you'd like to help sponsor the show Keeping It Real, please call 225-665-4673. That's 225-665-4673. Thank you to our sponsors. If you'd like to help sponsor the show Keeping It Real, please call 225-665-4673. That's 225-665-4673.